was just talking to my son and my daughter about relationships. And the key thing about relationships, I was telling them is about the foundation. The foundation. Every relationship has a foundation. And, you know, most relationships, especially those with that that include those, most relationships or relationships that are near and dear to you. Yeah. And I call these are the people that's in your circle, your inner circle relationships. Those relationships should be built and are built on a foundation of trust. Not only just trust, but the foundation of both parties or all parties are working together to build, right? And part of that foundation, the makeup of that foundation is trust. You know, trust is a major ingredient to the building of a foundation. That trust includes loyalty. It includes allegiance. And it ultimately builds the relationship higher and higher. But the foundation of it has to be solid. In order for it to be solid, all parties have to work at it. And I keep saying all parties, and I say, a relationship between two people, but, whatever relationships there is, it has to be built with a solid foundation. You know what I mean? And all the parties in that relationship have to put forth the full effort. And you could tell how much that relationship means to you or that person means to you, by the effort that you put into it. And honestly, you can't do it by yourself. You can't do it by yourself. If the other person in the party, is not doing what they're supposed to do, the other person in the relationship not doing what they're supposed to do, no matter how hard you try yourself, you can't build the foundation by yourself. The foundation has to be built with both people, with all the people in the party. The relationship has to be built with the foundation of both people putting full forth effort. And I'm like, this is how you build a relationship. When I say relationship, I'm talking about any relationship. I'm talking about a brotherhood, a sisterhood, a friendship, intimacy, your girl, your man, you know what I mean? Whoever it is that you're in a relationship with, whatever type of relationship it is, even if it's a work relationship, they gotta be trust gotta be there. I'm trusting that you do your part and I do my part. And this is how we build the relationship. I felt like this talk was important because, they're teenagers. And this is not the first time we're having a talk like this, but it's good to have reminders and to hear the perspective more than once. Because this is a life lesson, and an important life lesson, because we all know who have friends and family members and relationships that we value. This is important. And it's not something that you just talk about one time and you kind of breeze over through it. But what really makes a relationship? What's the foundation of a relationship? The core of a relationship, right? And working at that core, even when you've built it so high up. Because I believe the higher and the greater the relationship, the more important the foundation or the core of that is. And let's talk about trust, right? We've been in a relationship for 10 years, 15 years, and then you break the trust, right? That's detrimental. the whole structure of the relationship, like a building, falls down. You know what I mean? So you got to work at it every day to be the best of who you are. Be the best of who you are in a relationship. And I even said it to my kids, like, if you a liar, just be that, then own up to that. When I say be that, I mean tell the person, let the person know who you are. Like, yo, I just lie a lot, man. I just always lie. I'm a liar. You know what I mean? Be the best of who you are. And I'm saying, this might be a little disagreeable. If you a liar, then why? Well, we all got them friends or them family members who they ain't traditional. I say that. They authentic in their own way. But what make everybody like them is that they own up to it. You know what I mean? We got that alcoholic family member. We may have a drug addict, family member. We may have a family member who dates in a non-traditional way. We may have a family member who lives a non-traditional lifestyle, right? But the reason why we love them so much is because they are who they are, right? Day in and day out, lights on, lights off. I'm that non-traditional type person. You know what I mean? I'm that person. I'm that uncle. I'm that auntie. They own up to who they are, And, sometimes, a lot of times they unapologetic about it. You know what I mean? And you're like, oh, that's just my aunt. That's just my sister. That's just my whoever family member or friend, right? But they're honest about who they are, and you could tell when they're trying to get better. I'm working on it. I ain't there yet. And, and a lot of times, honestly, people accept you for who you are, especially when you're authentic about it, no matter what you are. You know what I mean? And sometimes you got somebody who be thieving a lot. That's scamming. That's scammer. He still love you, but we know not to keep your stuff around. Sometimes they even say, like, yo, don't keep your wallet around. You know what I mean? You drop your, if I see that debit card, you leave that phone unlocked, it's a wrap. You know what I mean? I'm just joking with that. But, what I'm trying to say is, relationships, foundations, and at the end of the day, the relationship with yourself, right? Are you who you are all the time? You know what I mean? Are you really trying to work to get better? Or maybe you're not, So, relationships, foundations, building a foundation. I probably got on a tangent earlier, but just wanted to pass that on, Working at it, both parties, all parties working at the relationship. Father to six, I'm the general. Comment below. Tell me what you think. And, if you agree or disagree. Love, light, life. Peace.